So for my biography, I'm choosing to read a bio that I wrote 10 years ago because I tend to be sometimes a little at the graduate level. It's difficult to come back down, but I want to evidence that I've always been that way. So 10 years ago, my biography was as true as it is today. I'll read that for my statement. Jay Allen writes poetry because, for some reason, it's the way he connects with the world. Whether by documenting thoughts, voicing memory, or exploring a concept through a creative medium, what he writes in poetic form is meant to reproduce itself. With poetry, he's not trying to dictate a concrete narration that means different things, but he hopes to concretize the way that a piece of writing or reading or performance is a single point of convergence from many different strings. In this way, he approaches the genre of poetry as a tuning fork to discover truth, seeking the truth. I wasn't a Unitarian Universalist then, but I was laying the groundwork. So at the beginning of that biography, I introduce myself as Jay Allen. When I perform poetry, I go by the name Jay Allen. My mother named me Jason, but less like Jason Aldean. She calls me Jason the Conqueror, which is this masculinist, strong, but Jason's actually a feminine name, meaning healer. But try to convince people of that in a small town. The piece I'm performing today, though, is after Buddy Wakefield's My Town, which is a critique of small towns. This is named after the small town where I'm from, which isn't even a town, you'll hear, Crystal. In the town where I was planted, people reap what they sow, while the sun is still proud of the land. Farm hands inherit the earth by churning the dirt into a full day's worth, the kind of work that puts food on the table, money in your pockets, and stains in your clothes. But in the winter, the snow blows over where I'm from, and my town is so numb and frozen, it disappears. My town has mastered disappearing. It has grown so much fear of being outsourced, it doesn't maintain village status to vote. The schools in my town are so choked for funders, they've recycled classrooms where hunters can learn the safety of shooting. My town has grown so used to shooting up, it doesn't recognize anything below knee high. The kneeling believers and passed out junkies only matter if they rise in the morning, when red sky is the only warning my town pays attention to. My town pays attention to only half of what it sees. It has a one-screen theater with ragged carpets where residents could live out their American dreams until the owner couldn't afford to keep up with the machines. See, my town gets hit differently by Uncle Sam's left hook. Tells a whole new story if they guns get took. My town knows all too well that guns are made for hands and hearts and heads. My town remembers the dead for a full minute. But my town has forgotten how to live. Thinks Thanksgiving is about learning how to win. Thinks screaming is for kids and talking is for lawyers, but it's work that gets the job done. Digging is how my town plants sons so cemeteries can continue teething. The earth is so rich with food because it keeps eating each son that we're feeding it. The churches in my town never quit. They just split and split and split until we tear them down, until every home in my town is either praised in the clouds or drowning in the weekends. But my town knows how to clean its own messes. Knows how much fits under a rug. Like a cute little hug, my town will never leave those it loves, never bleed those it trusts. But I know my town will never be part of this world because it keeps whispering to us. Those who don't return will burn to dust for the way they left us.